Good morning, friends. Today we discuss the day 2 and the part 2 part of our NET medical sections MCQs. And today we discuss about the taxonomy and pulse 2. And in that part we discuss about the taxonomical tools like the herbaria or other key or the museum and what is their importance in the taxonomical study. You know, taxonomy, that is the study of the different biodiversity in our world. That is very important in different aspect, but the study of the taxonomy require the different tools. We discuss it in very important by the some questions of the MCQs. At first question, the Kew, that is in London, it is famous for, it is a one type of taxonomical tools, but that is famous for which purpose? It is for largest herbarium, largest national park or largest biological reserve or maximum biodiversity of the flora and fauna. The flora means the total number of plants and the fauna means total number of animals. Biological reserve, where we biological, mainly animals are reserved in that particular area, mean largest, the biological area or the herbarium. The Q is the famous for the herbarium. Is a famous for herbarium means where they are stored the plant species for their studies. In here the plant specimen are dry and preserved on the seat. So it is the largest herbarium present in the Kew or London. So A option is the right option. Question number 2. Where was the first museum built in India? Museum, it is a very important taxonomical tools. It is used, it is present in various locality in India, but where the first museum is built, this is the most famous museum in Calcutta. So our option C is the right option, is Kolkata, where the first museum is built, that is the Indian Museum. So the C option is the right option. Question number 3. The standard size of the herbarium seat. Herbarium is an important tools for the taxonomical study. But here we are preserve the plant specimen. We at first collect and then dry and preserve the plant specimen in a seat. But what is their standard size? For international standard size, the different sizes also be there, but the standard size, there is a 42 centimeter and 22 centimeter, 29 centimeter. So option A is the right option. And 4. Indian Museum were established in 1759, 1814, 1955 and 1957. Indian Museum, that is ultimately there in the Kolkata, it is a very famous for the taxonomical study, and this is a very different type of specimen is there in the museum, and it is ultimately established in 1814. So our option B is the right option. Question number 5. A person can preserve the historical record of changes in the vegetations over the time. Vegetation means it is related to plant. That means the plant specimen are preserved. But where the plant specimen are preserved? That is preserved in the herbaria. So herbarium is the main the tools for the vegetation, that means the plant specimen. So D is the right option. Question number 6. Museum is a center of, it is a one type of taxonomical tools is used for the classification and the study of the taxonomy, but they have different purposes also. So the most important purpose, that is the documentation. We get the some knowledge about different species or different specimen from the museum. That is not possible in every time to go the real area of the specimen, but in museum they are stored in different forms, right? So it is very much useful for documentation of any research paper or any study or in research purpose. So a documentation is the right option. Question number 7. The place for keeping and studying the dry plants is called, the herbarium where we are stored the specimen or the plant part in the dry basis. That means you are dry the plant specimen and preserve it in the herbarium sheet. So our option C is the right option. Question number 8. Living herbaria. Living herbaria means where the living plant specimen is there. That is very twisted question. But the botanical garden where we are stored the living plants. Herbaria, that is related to plants, and living means where the living plant is there. That is not in herbarium seat, that is not in a museum, but living herbarium is related to botanical garden. So our option B is the right option. Question number 9. The largest collection of herbarium in India is. Herbarium is the most important tools for taxonomical study, where we preserve the plant specimen. And but what is the location? Central National Herbarium in Kolkata, or Southern Circle Herbarium, Central Circle Herbarium, Allahabad, or the Belpul Herbarium, Mumbai. But the largest collection is there, that is the option A, Central National Herbarium, Kolkata. It is the central government one part where we are collect the largest collection of herbarium. So option A is the right option. Question number 10. Zoological museum is a part of where we are stored the different animals in for future studies. You can see the full-term human baby, right? That is ultimately stored in the formaldehyde solution. Why you use the formaldehyde solution in the zoological museum? Because in the formaldehyde solution bacteria cannot grow and they cannot decompose the material. So use the formaldehyde solution for stored the different animals or plant species. So zoological museum is a part of archaeology, also in the science. So the D, both and B is the right option, because old time but past time the different organism is there, that is also stored in the skeleton form in the museum. Also it is the science. Why you are tell it is science? Because the living things, plant, animals are there in the museum. So the option D, both B and C is the right option. Question number 11. The Indian Botanical Garden is situated near the most famous banyan tree. It is ultimately there in the Indian Botanical Garden in the Kolkata. Mainly it is present in the Howrah, but that is the near to Kolkata. So our option B is the right option. If in this question the Indian Botanical Garden is situated, if the Howrah option is there, so you are must be mentioned the Howrah. But if the both Kolkata and Howrah is there, that time also you mentioned the Howrah option. But the Howrah is not there in our 11 number question, so you mention the B, Kolkata option. Question number 12. The Royal Botanical Garden is situated in, this is a famous and very beautiful garden. It is Paris, Kew or Washington. But you know that is the Royal Botanical Garden is present in the Kew, and that is very famous for your taxonomical study. Question number 13. The place where the rare and threatened species of plants, not the animal, it is in the question it is mentioned the plant are rare and conserved are called the botanical garden, where we are conserved the different type of plants and conserve in the botanical garden. If the animals is there, option in the question animal is present, so there may be national park or sanctuaries may be there, but the question is the plant are rare or the conserved, so our option is the A is the right option, botanical garden. Question number 14. Herbarium is, you know, already we tell that the herbarium is the dry uh, plant specimens stored in the seed. So it is a garden where medicinal plants are grown, garden where the herbaceous plants are grown. No, this is the herbarium is a dry garden. So our option, the dry garden where the dry plant specimen is there, right? So option is C is the right option. But because in here we cannot kill the plants by the use of chemicals. Chemicals are used for storing purpose is there, but it is the main not the main procedure to store the plant by the use of chemicals. It is the dry in the dry format we are stored the plant specimens. Question number 15. Which one of the taxonomical aids give the comprehensive ultimate account of complete or compiled information of any one genus or family at a particular time? There is a very important taxonomical tools. One that question the most important clue, any genus, any one genus or family. That is we are get the knowledge by the help of monograph. So the D is the monograph. This option also be there in the NCERT. So in the NEET, that is a very important question. In the monograph, we are study or get the knowledge from the monograph in one genus or the family. D, monograph is the right option. Question number now 15. Next 16. The art of growing the short plant is called the bonsai. You can see the very beautiful images there where we are stored the growing the short plant for the ornamental purpose. It is called the bonsai. A is the right option. Question number 17. The label of the specimen in the herbarium seed should be indicate. It is the herbarium seed in the one side, mainly the right side of the herbarium, mention the different points. But what is the main point? That is the scientific name, time of collections, name of the collectors. So all of this thing is there in the herbarium seed. So our option D is the right option. Question number 18. In India, herbarium plant specimens are arranged according to system of classification. Herbarium plant specimens are arranged in a systematic pattern, so it is arranged in a one type of classification process are follow, and it is followed by the two scientists given process, that is the Bentham and Hooker. So the our options Bentham and Hooker is the right option for herbarium plant specimen for their classification and arranging. So option A is the right option. Question number 19. The main purpose of the museum. It is a taxonomical tools that is very easy, but it is help for educating the people and preserving the natural and historical object, and it is not for economic development. So the both A and B is the right option. Show the main purpose of the museum. Now we are go to the last question. To which of the following ultimate precautions should be taken while we in the museum? You know, in the museum the very valuable specimen is there, so you must be taking some precautions for their controlling purpose also. At first it should not be touch any object and should not be make noise and make a note for important exhibit. So the all of the above is the right option for question number 20. Thank you.